Hey guys, as you know, I've been running 2011s a little bit this year, starting with the Staccato XC, which, I mean, in my opinion, is one of the most interesting, whether or not you like it, one of the most interesting 2011s on the market. Now, recently, Andreas was on the channel, and he'll be on the channel in future. One of my friends, he shoots a lot. He has gotten on the 2011 train as well. He got a Prodigy. We've discussed it on the channel. There's a lot of comments. We're going to go to the comments shortly. But it was nice seeing Andreas recently. Last weekend, we had the Practical Shooting Training Group Summit in Arkansas. He had his Prodigy. I had my Staccato, and the comparison side by side, I thought it was pretty good. I don't think our opinions have shifted a whole lot. The Prodigy does 90% of what the Staccato does for way less money. However, the Staccato is nicer, like the finish is nicer. I like the fit of it better. I like the gun better, but again, it's like double the cost. Both of them are going to get you where you want to go. But it occurs to me, it might be good to make the next 2011 I get be the Prodigy. A lot of people are just kind of interested in that gun from a price perspective. They want to see how good or not good it is. I'm thinking if I do get one, the path I would take is to not modify it and shoot it a fair bit before that happens. Now, what a lot of guys do is they buy them and they immediately swap a bunch of parts, fit the gun to themselves better and all this. That's what Andreas did with his. It appeared to fit him well from what I saw of his shooting. But in terms of the reliability of the gun, watching, it's like, okay, this thing needs to be wetter than the Staccato. This thing's not running as well. But if you keep it wet, you do the stuff, it does run just fine from what I saw. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm thinking a Prodigy might be an interesting next 2011 to get. Now, let's go to your comments on the Springfield Prodigy, and I'll read from the Why Buy a Springfield Prodigy video, where Andreas and I discussed this issue. Top comment on the video: I'm an MGM with multiple custom 2011s, and I have a Prodigy with 8,000 rounds through it. It's legit. Treat it as a short block kit and replace parts up front, or shoot it stock and wait for parts to break. The important thing is to make Staccato owners cope and seethe. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know why. I don't know. I guess that makes Staccato owners mad if you shoot it. You can definitely get a cheaper gun than this Staccato owner, so I don't know why the owners would really care. All right, I was looking for a reason to buy a Prodigy, and I think I just found it. I guess that's good. Staccato owners can be annoying, right? All right. Prodigy plus all the tricked out parts you can throw at it still ends up running cheaper than a Staccato, and it's fun to run the thing everybody says can't be run. Yeah, I think in fairness, the Prodigy it's a budget choice, right? You're not buying, you're buying a 2011 at a price point. That's what you're doing. But once you do it, you make it work. All right, reason number one to buy a Prodigy: it's not a 320. It's true, it is not a 320. I think maybe it's better. I'm not sure. All right, I have two Prodigies that I compete with. Both have infinity internals, and they shoot amazing. My 5-inch has over 20,000 rounds. My 4.25 has over 3,000. Not a single issue with any of them. I got both for less than the price of a Staccato. Again, it's a budget thing. Infinity internals probably works pretty good though. As a guy thinking about going from cheap Glocks to cheap 2011s, this is relevant to my interests. Like, again, you see the interest in the Prodigy. It's like, it's not the inherent characteristics of the firearm. It's the price. But nothing wrong with that. The thing with the Prodigy is had a really good frame slide barrel. That is true with basically all of the Springfield 2011s. And the rest of the components are built and fitted to the price point they are trying to hit. The Prodigy is still a budget gun, so the trigger's a bit gritty. The safeties will come loose sooner rather than later. The slide stop is a bit small, so there's some slop in the barrel lug engagement, etc. So a few parts can make big improvements. That is great if you can do it yourself then and do it safely. Otherwise, just buy a Staccato. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where it's going to be at, right? Like, if you're buying a price point, you're going to expect that there's going to be some more hassles, but you're trading You're not trading money. You're going to be doing the hassle stuff instead. Yeah. I bought an unfired Prodigy from a family member for $900. Added a Dawson toolless guide rod and toolless slide lock. The gun has been 100% for the 1,200 or so rounds I've put through it so far. Yeah, that's good. I mean, buying a Prodigy at $900 does not sound too bad. Does not sound too bad. All right, I'll tell you exactly why I bought mine. I saw one on a wall for $1,400 with a 507C, and then for a few $100 swapped out the internals for the EGW kit. That's what Andreas did with his, by the way. Now I've got a rig that runs better than a Staccato for way cheaper. It has less than 100 rounds on it when I bought it. I used it for my backup gun for limited optics, and it's awesome. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I've bought stuff for my Prodigy at the pro shop. I couldn't be happier with my Prodigy or the stuff I've gotten at Ben's shop. Thank you for supporting the Prodigy. Okay. As an experiment, I bought a military armament core Mac 9. It's a 1911 DS in July later this year. It has no injection molded parts. Put a lighter hammer and recoil spring in it and a shorter trigger bow in it. Now I have 9,500 rounds through it. It's an extremely accurate handgun and has been as reliable as any firearm I've ever owned. It is running absolutely flawlessly. It is my carry and range gun. All right, good. Let's see if there's any other interesting ones here. Hopefully, I mean, you guys, the saucy comments are kind of fun. You guys are being a little bit, funny. I like that. At the end of the day, if you do a little shopping, you can pick up a Prodigy for $1,100 to $1,200. And here's the kicker. If you're capable of fitting parts yourself, you can put $300 to $400 worth of parts in it and have a very nice pistol. Again, if you can fit parts yourself, it just saved you enough to buy a couple thousand rounds of ammo over buying a Staccato. Okay. If you're not able to fit your own parts, then it has become less economically attractive. Yeah. Now, I'll just tell you guys this. Maybe this isn't going to be a popular opinion. I don't, in my comparison of Andreas's Prodigy versus either of my Staccatos, looking at it, he had the parts on it that fitted it to him. The different safety, the bigger slide stop, a different trigger shoe. I think he has a short shoe in it. So the parts that he changed were good for fit, but as far as just reciprocating the slide, shooting the gun, and how well the gun ran, which is it needs to stay wet or it's not going to work, much more so than the Staccatos I have. I don't think the Prodigy is as good. I just don't think that. I think I would probably have a better time with a Staccato myself, in noticeable ways. The Staccato runs, the ones that I have anyway, run way nicer than the Prodigies I've seen side by side in terms of the reliability. Now, as far as how they shoot, it's really not a lot different. But for me, I probably would like the Staccato better. Now, I'm not real firm on that opinion. I don't have a Prodigy. I haven't shot one a bunch yet. And I'm curious to get one. So I guess the question is, which one is the Prodigy to get? To me, the comped one is the most interesting to people. That's the flashy one. But maybe there's a different one that's better. I don't know. There's so many guns to get. So many guns to get. All right. I'm taking a class with Ben in the near future. As a new shooter, a lot of it is probably going to go over my head, but he just seems like a cool dude that I'd want to have a beer with. Careful having beers with me, man. It gets out of hand fast. Okay. I have a Prodigy. I do have to say, it's like being in an abusive relationship. I love the gun, but it keeps hurting me. First 300 rounds, I sent it back to Springfield for a warranty repair. I was having weak ejections and failures to feed. 2,000 rounds later, the gun has run flawlessly. I then put it on an impact machine optic plate that I could never get the plate and optic. Oh, I could never get the plate and optic to stop coming loose. Yes, I was noticed Andreas was having the same problem with his. He was fucking around with his optic a lot. I then tried the agency arms plate and that plate is still coming loose. Yeah. I've also had issues with the base plates of the stock mags unseating when dropped on a hard surface. But damn, I love the way the gun shoots. Again, abusive relationship. Yeah, I mean, maybe that was the experience I was witnessing. I mean, that wouldn't be a lot of fun for me. That would harsh my mellow when I'm trying to train. Reminds me of guys who used to buy Norinco 1911 A1 pistols back in the day and tune them up. Start with a solid forged frame and slowly replace everything worn that holds it back with fitted parts, and then you have a very strong, reliable firearm for shooting major power factor in iron sight division or for bullseye competition. Yeah, I definitely saw a few of those back in the day. It does kind of remind me of that. That's a good one. A Prodigy with all the small parts replaced is a better gun than the Staccato P and costs less. If you know how to do the work, it is totally the way to go. Love mine, works great. Like, I don't get this. I don't see how it would be better. Like, I don't understand why people say it's better. It's kind of like, I don't know, whatever. If anything, get the Platypus based purely on the fact that it runs Glock mags. Test it out for us plebs. See, the thing is, that's not a remotely attractive feature for me. If I want, I'll just get more mags. I don't really care about that. I don't care about running Glock mags. All right, let's see one more. If there's anything good. Ben looks way too good in this video. It's so sad to see the SIG money changing him. It is changing me. The SIG money always changes people. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Prodigy's on my list. Maybe the next 2011 I get. It would be, I think a lot of people, I mean, yeah, with the way things are, like a budget 2011 is not a bad thing to shoot and evaluate and talk about. So people can make a more informed choice about it. I'm a little bit ambivalent at this point. I like shooting 2011, so maybe shoot that one a little while. Curious what you guys think. It's definitely something I would rather shoot than the Platypus, for all you Platypus nerds.